there wouldn't be Niko without autism. It's like something that integral part of him. I think the most positive shift that I noticed that people are much more aware about autism. I think there's a lot of room for improvement when it comes to the giving a chance to those people to get a job, to give them a chance to be part of organizations, to get some work. You have to get connected with other parents. You have to be part of this, either that community or community in your city or area where you live, because you're going to get this kind of like power and energy from others, because you can't do that on your own.
Welcome to the Metautism podcast, where we're diving into the vibrant world of autism and championing inclusive education and employment. Join us as we explore innovative strategies, share inspiring stories, and analyze groundbreaking initiatives that celebrate differences and advocate for a future of equal opportunities. Let's get started. Hello. How are you? Welcome to another episode of Metautism podcast. I'm your host, Clara, and today I'm speaking with Goran Levačić. He is UX and UI designer, as well as he's done some work in video and animation space, but he is also a father of son on the autism spectrum. Today we will learn more about his family life, but also the work he's done through association, Pogled, that is Association for Autism, and Goran is part of that association, and they've done amazing work so far. So Goran, welcome to the show.
Hi, Clara. Thanks for having me. I'm very happy to be here today.
Let's start by asking, could you give us maybe introduction on your son and your relationship with him?
My oldest son, Niko, is 14 years old, nearly 15 in October. And he's a boy who's been on the spectrum. He's got the Asperger syndrome. And when I say we, that is my wife, Luciana, and me, we've been through this sort of, I would say, learning about autism since we found out about Niko's conditions, and that was sometime around his fourth year of life. And it's been a wild ride and roller coaster for us and for him. But now from my position today, I can say that I'm really grateful for all the things that happen during that time, because his condition is not something that we perceive as a burden. Now we just see that as a normal part of somebody's life. And we accepted him from the very first day, and we are very happy about his progress, his developments, and we continue to work with him to help him to sort of like get into life and become like an adult who's going to be living normally among all other people.
And do you remember when he was diagnosed, how did you feel back then and how do you feel now? Did those feelings change?
Yeah, of course. When we found out for the first time, we had lots of questions, we had lots of concerns. We actually didn't know what that was. We started to read a lot. We started to watch a lot of content about autism. And for us, it was like a completely new experience. We saw that he had some troubles socializing with other kids, interacting with people, but he was also in his own world, doing things that were kind of like unusual when we compare him to other children. And my wife and I said, we don't want to compare our child to other people, to other children, but we saw those differences, and then we started to learn about that. And everything that he did, he said, and we just started to observe more and more and started to learn about that. I think the toughest time was when he started to go to school, because that was for him completely different experience. He was so confused, like I could see in his eyes, and why I have to do that? Why do I need to read that book and do that every day? Why do I have to write? But in the same time, he developed some other skills. His memory skills were so good at that time. He could remember like a nursery rhyme or song or everything. He was perfect with that, but he just couldn't understand why he has to go to school. That was at his first grade. Comparing to that time and today, that's a completely different story now.
What are your feelings now? So you mentioned in the introduction you don't see Asperger's syndrome as a burden, and you're trying to make his life the best possible. So what are the ways actually you are doing that?
Firstly, we started to adapt our lives around him, and I started to work and support my family. My wife decided to leave her career and just fully dedicate to Niko. So she's been out of work for 6-7 years now. She started to helping me with my work, but for her, that was completely something new. She didn't really cope all the time good with that because she wanted to do something and go to work. But as a mother, she decided that she wants to help Niko as much as she can. And she spent a lot of time, and she still spends a lot of time helping him to learn and do homework. And she was so supportive to him all the time. And I took my role as somebody who's going to bring food and money and everything. And we've been living like that for 6-7 years now. In the meantime, Ivan was born, a younger son, Niko's brother, who also has a very important role in Niko's life as well, because he accepted him as he is, and we're so happy to see how they develop in sync, both of them, and how they cooperate and how they actually live together as brothers. That's something really amazing. I really love to see them be together. It's not obviously just my role, it's my wife's role and my younger son's role to help Niko to become what he is today. And today he's much more confident, he's organized, he's got the routines, he likes to do his homework straight after he returns from school. He's so into that, and I think his development is going into the right direction now. He now likes to go to school. And the best thing is that he really wants to be part of that classroom. He likes to compare himself to other students. At some point, we were actually thinking about putting him into a school into a special school. But when we said that to him, and he said, okay, I just want to see how that looks. And we went there, and he said, no, I want to be in my classroom. And then we said, okay, it's going to be a bit easier for you in a special school. But he said, no, I just want to try to be like other students in my classroom. And we said, okay, that's your decision. So go for it. And I think for him, that was very motivating because he's also developed empathy, even though he doesn't show that like most of the people on spectrum. He will not show emotions many times, but I can feel his empathy for people, for other children, for animals. He's so gentle. He's so kind to people around him. He likes to play with younger kids, with younger brother friends, but he never managed to get on with his friends at the same age, only with his friends in the classroom. He's kind of like now trying to make up for his childhood, so that's why he likes to play with younger kids, but he also likes to interact with adults.
What led you to Association Pogled, which means view in English, and how did you start as a member of that association? What was the motive?
As most of the parents there, me and Luciana were also desperate to learn more about autism and get some professional help and from people in the area. And obviously, the system is very rigid. You can't really get enough information from people in healthcare. They try to help you, but they say, look, you have to look further. You have to connect with people who experienced that in the past, who have children on the spectrum. That's why we joined the association. And the association is a very good place because you exchange ideas, you exchange your knowledge and experience with other parents. And all these parents are experts. They know answer to everything, almost everything. And this community is really important for all of us because we just go there to get the advice, to get the information. We go there to have a good time, to celebrate birthdays, play sports and other activities. And I think that's kind of like a blessing. I mean, I've never thought that I'm going to be part of Pogled Association, but I am now, and I'm very, very grateful because I met so amazing people, and I've heard so many stories. And then as a person, I started to develop my empathy for people, not just people on the spectrum, but for other people who challenge difficulties in life. And then when you meet somebody, you don't know what's bothering them. But then if you see there's some kind of like a problem with that person, and you start thinking, oh, there might be some issues. And then you start feeling that empathy. So apart from like being a part of this association and people and parents and kids with autism, you just kind of like change as a person in a good way. And I'm really grateful for that. It's not something that I can learn through not normal, but like a formal way of living. Maybe I can, but it's much more intense in there because you think about these things all the time.
But it sounds like members of the association truly build the community around it.
Yes. And I always give advice to parents who are in the same situation, like who are new in this kind of like situation. I always say you have to get connected with other parents. You have to be part of this, either that community or community in your city or area where you live, because you're going to get this kind of like power and energy from others, because you can't do that on your own. I mean, everything that we do, every challenge we have in life, we have to do that. We have to try to solve that together. Either that is a family or association or club, sports club or whatever it is. That's my advice to other parents. Get help, not just from people who are professionals in the field, but also from other parents who've been through that. And they are really, really skillful. They just learn through all the way to where they are now, and they can be really helpful to you.
What are some of the projects from the association where you put your energy out, or the ones you would say made the biggest change in your local community?
We do a lot of activities like sports, art, music. We have a good cooperation with local clubs here. So we have like football team, we have like bowling team, children are going for swimming every week. But we also have like a music workshop for last 2 years where we have a person, Lydia, she's from Varaždin, is one of the most amazing teachers I ever met because she does things in different way. She's doing like this music workshops with children every Saturday, but she also does the one-to-one lessons in Varaždin, and Niko's attending those as well. She's not like a typical standard music teacher. She's sort of like a person who tries to give those children to express themselves in the way how they feel, how they want to. As a result of that, I see that Niko developed a huge love for music. And he started to sing. They've got the band now. He started to learn playing guitar, and he actually wrote two songs. Actually 3. And 2 of those songs are about his emotions. And Lydia let him to express his emotions to the songs, to the words. And then she helped him to make like background music and play that. Those kids who actually are attending her lessons are having the best time of their life because they are free. Nobody tells them how they have to play the music, how they have to play the instruments, how they have to sing. They just have this freedom to express themselves as they learn about the music. And after 2 years, they have numerous gigs locally, and they always play live for Christmas. They play live in different events. We also had like tennis tournaments in Varaždin, which was also organized by Tennis Club and Association Pogled. They had the gig there, and they're going to have a few more soon. So I think this activity is one of the most precious activities we had, obviously among all the sports activities they do. But also they do some things like soap making. We have like cooperation with one of the company in Varaždin where kids go and they learn how to make a soap, which is also very interesting. We've been traveling a lot with them to actually play football. Niko's not playing anymore, but he used to play. He's kind of like into this musical part of his life now. But yeah, these kind of activities are showing us that if we give them the chance to express themselves, either mentally or physically, or they're going to develop very quickly. They're going to overcome all these obstacles, and they're going to have much better scores in school as well, because that reflects how they perform in school. There are other activities, like we always have like birthday parties together. We try to have good time together as much as we can. We do some fairs. We do some kind of like handmade stuff for Christmas, for Easter. We sell them on the fair. So yeah, there's lots of things, and even parents are celebrating now, like birthdays together and visiting each other. So there's so many things that actually were born from this association, which is amazing.
That is really a really nice story, and I'm very, very impressed.
Thank you. I mean, one more thing that I would like to add is about my relationship with Niko. And I think when we said to him, when he was like 10 or 12, we started to say to him, Niko, you are on the spectrum. And then we started to educate him about this. And he's well aware about that. We didn't want to hide in front of him about his condition. And we talk openly about autism and syndrome and everything with him almost on a daily basis. And I think that's important, because sometimes if he does something or says something and we started to laugh and everything, he would say back, he would say like, oh, that's my autism. He kind of like accepted that as part of him. He doesn't see that as a problem anymore. He see that as a part of him. He makes jokes about that. Even Ivan, the younger brother, makes jokes about his autism. It's like Niko is, a person on the spectrum. There wouldn't be Niko without autism. It's like something that integral part of him. Everybody accept that, and life goes on. We don't look back. We never thought, oh, how could be life without autism? It's not an issue. It's not important. It's just part of him, and we love that part of him.
So Niko will also go to high school soon. So what are your plans? Do you see any challenges or opportunities there?
Yes, he's now at 8th grade. So next year he's going to start going to high school. We talk about that with him. At the moment, he says he wants to be a chef, a cook. But I said, okay, that's great, but we'll see how that's going to change. Maybe that will change within a year. I have to say that I'm very happy how his current school is supportive in his developments. I can't stress enough how great they are. It's the first secondary school in Čakovec. And what I really want, I'm not really worried or bothered about which school he's going to go next year. But I just really hope that I can find a school for him that is going to have the same quality as his current school. So to me, it's not really important whether he's going to be chef or do something else. I just want him to feel happy, to learn, to love what he learns, to do what he wants, because I think for him, that's most important. Because I don't even care about his grades. He's got high grades, and he's got assistant teacher, and they work together great. But as I said, I'm really hoping that he's going to find a place next year that he's going to love, where he's going to continue his developments. And then after 4 years, he will be in a situation then when he will say, yes, I want to work, or I want to do something else, learn something else. And I'm not really bothered. I have so much confidence in him now. I know that he's going to be successful. I know he's going to do great things for himself in life. And I'm going to support him in everything what he does. And as long as he feels that from me and my wife, Luciana, I think he's going to do well, because we just want to give him that full support all the way. I don't know what's going to be in the future, but I really see it's going to be good.
What do you see as the biggest shift throughout these 14 years in society? And what do you believe should be worked even more on?
I think the most positive shift that I noticed that people are much more aware about autism. 20 years ago, not many people were talking about that, but nowadays it's a topic that you can hear people talking about a lot. And autistic people are accepted in a society, I think people develop much more empathy towards them because they started to realize that this is not like illness. It's condition. It's not something that can be cured, but something that people are going to live with it for the rest of their life. I think there's a lot of room for improvement when it comes to the giving a chance to those people to get a job, to give them a chance to be part of organizations, to get some work, because they will be in a position that they will have to support themselves. And I think if we give them the chance in a young age to be more independent through different activities, they will learn that obviously it might take them much more time, but I think support from society and especially from employers is crucial. I am an employer myself. I have my own, I'm one man company, but I think the autistic people have so much things to offer. They just need to get a chance. And I really hope that we're going to see much more people from with the spectrum to being employed, because I know there are lots of challenges. There are lots of young kids, young people who are over 20 now. They can't get a job because there's still prejudices, there's still problems in that area. But as you would give a chance to somebody with any sort of like disability or similar condition, you can give a chance to an autistic person, and you will see how things can change. And I'm always for those equal opportunities. I'm always rooting for opportunities, not just for the autistic people, but for everyone with any sort of challenge in life, to give them this opportunity. And I hope the society will recognize that and start, change the view, and people will start to act, especially in the private sector.
That is very powerful and beautiful conclusion. Thank you, Goran, for that. And thank you for joining me on this episode of Metautism podcast.
Thank you, Clara. It was a pleasure to talk to you, and I'm really grateful for this.
Thank you, Goran, once again. And of course, thank you to the Erasmus Plus program of European Union for funding this project. All opinions are our own. Please follow and subscribe on YouTube or Spotify or your favorite listening platform so you don't miss the upcoming episodes. Until the next time, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.